All right, Corey's here, ready to go. So let's do it. Corey, you sit right there. Jeremy.
Corey, congratulations, man. Just take me through the process of what this was like the last couple of weeks. Obviously, with Lovey getting fired, that has to be emotional, and then having a chance to kind of stay on, but being in limbo. What was that all like for you?
That was rough. I mean, just sitting around, just trying to, head kind of all over the place, trying to figure out what's next. But I don't know. It worked out at the end, but it was a tough time those couple weeks. Just not knowing is more the biggest thing. But say it worked out the way it should.
What were your meetings like with Bret, and how did you try to sell yourself? And what did you think of him too? Because he's interviewing you too.
As far as trying to sell myself, I had so many people call and say, "Hey, you got to do this. You need to make this type of manual. You should say this and say it like this." And basically, what I did was, at the end of the day, I just said, "Man, that'll be too hard for me to do." I just went in there. I was just me. I went in there. I told Coach, "Hey, I'm gonna come here and tell you exactly who I am and how I do things." And that time, and that worked out for me being myself instead of trying to take all the advice from everybody else.
Just one more for you, Corey. 3 years ago, you're coaching high school ball. What's it mean to you that you're valued, and you've made your name and you've stuck on to a Power 5 job? What do you think you've showed, and what's this mean to you have another opportunity at Illinois?
I think it means that the people around me know that I'm gonna work my tail off. I don't take anything for granted. I'm the same way. I'm the same way I coach my guys. I'm gonna work hard every day. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna put in all the work to be a great coach, not just be a great recruiter. But as far as recruiting goes, I'm gonna be in everybody's backyard. Let's say that.
Thanks, Corey. Congrats, man.
All right.
Hey, Corey, congratulations. I'm just wondering, what's it going to be like switching over to working with the running backs from the tight ends?
I was a high school coach before, so I coached every position on the field before. It's just an opportunity to go with another group of guys that's a real talented group, and be able to put some stuff on the field and make some things happen.
Obviously, you haven't been through a coaching change at this level until now, but I'm curious of how you view the developments. A lot of guys have been coming back. Bret's been filling out the staff here a lot in the past week or two. What do you think of all that?
Once you have an opportunity to be around Coach B, you'll kind of get it. He's one of those guys. He know how to get it done. So I think there'll be a lot more guys coming back soon, and there'll be a lot more guys jumping in the boat.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Corey, I'm curious if you had any kind of did Coach Bielema recruit any Trinity guys when you were there? Did you know him before? Had you met him before?
Actually, I met a guy who coached for him. His old running back coach actually recruited my school. So we hadn't really had any talks, but I had spoke with a couple guys when he was at Arkansas.
And how much it's possible you had other opportunities to go elsewhere and such. How much of your motivation was some of the guys that are here, Isaiah, Shaman, Frenchie, Love, guys that you had a relationship with before? How much did you want to stay and see through things with those guys?
I love to stay in with those guys and spend some time and continue to grow with them. But I knew one thing. I knew they were going to be in good hands. All those guys come from good stock. They're going to play hard wherever they are. I just like the University of Illinois. I like the community. My family's here. We found a place that we like to call home, and that was the real reason I really wanted to stick around.
And I'm also curious about, specifically getting to coach Reggie Love again, having him in your stable of guys. What's that going to be like for you?
It'll be good to get one of my guys back and have him in the room with us. He know what time it is. He got to come in and come put his best foot forward and come work his tail off if you want to get on the field.
Thanks.
Hey, Corey, congrats, man. I guess I'm just curious, what is it about Bret that you guys lined up? The element that you had to decide you wanted to stay around with him too, and there's two sides to that.
I would say the biggest thing I've noticed is his emotions are out. And I think that's gonna go a long way with a lot of people. He's not one of those guys that's shelled up. He's gonna let you know what's on his mind. He's a straightforward guy, but he also a guy that shows emotion. And I think a lot of guys, we need that in here. We need that in this program. And he's just a guy that I feel like the guys are going to play their tails off and play hard for. And I think that comes with him being himself and being able to let people in a little bit.
I mean, you said you wanted to go in there and be yourself. You think that, obviously it resonated, right? You're here talking to us, but how did that kind of just make you comfortable and kind of throwing away all this advice and just like, Corey, be who you've been your whole life?
Yeah, I think it was a lot easier once I got in the room with him because he has that type of personality that allowed me to continue being myself. I didn't have to go in there and straighten up or tighten up my tie or anything like that. I mean, he has that welcoming personality also. So, I mean, it seemed like we just kind of hit it off right away.
Thanks, Corey.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. Just wanted to know, I mean, we've had a couple of questions already about St. Louis and your guys there. Have you talked with Bret at all about recruiting, if that's going to remain one of your areas or what that's going to look like for you in your new role?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be staying down in St. Louis. We haven't talked too much about where else I'll be going, but I'm sure I'll be staying down in St. Louis. We've been up this morning working on some recruiting stuff this morning.
Awesome, thanks.
Hey, Corey, congratulations on being retained. I got just a quick question about, now that you're the running backs coach, what kind of input are you going to have with the guys that are mulling decisions on whether or not to come back? And how soon do you plan to get with them now that you officially know that's your role?
I'm on them right now to come back. I was on them last night. So, yeah, I mean, hadn't stopped at all. I'm on them already, and I'll continue to be on them. We'll be getting them back soon.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Corey, I had a quick follow-up. You said, it was rough, obviously, trying to figure out what was next in these last few weeks. Can you take us inside a little bit? What was it sleepless nights? Was it, calling people for advice? Like, how did you find your way through that?
I still got a lot of guys that are friends of mine in this profession. So talking to those guys, like I said, I mean, just all day, you kind of thinking about it all day. Like a lot of people like, hey, you had a few days off. Really, it really wasn't days off because every day thinking about what's next, what you're gonna do with your family, how this thing's gonna shake out. So like no days off still. You're still stressed out a little bit.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
I do.
Corey, a quick follow-up too. You said this has become home for your family. Being so long in St. Louis, why has this Champaign become home for you guys? What do you guys like about it so much?
I mean, it's just a welcoming place. I mean, it's a place that my girls have gotten here and they learned so many they've met so many people. Now my girls are the age where they really started to meet friends, and I mean, it's a completely different place than St. Louis is. I mean, it's safe. That's one of the biggest things. It's safe for my girls, and just to be able to see them go outside and ride their bikes and have fun in our neighborhood is one of those things I don't ever want to let them lose.
And I know, the last couple of years, recruiting, people can recruit against you with record. How does the recruiting pitch change now with Bret here and hope on the horizon? Like, how does it change now, your pitch?
I think it's one of those things that you will just see coming soon. I think the pitch will stay close to the same, but I think coach just got one of those. I mean, he's a little different. Like he know how to do this recruiting thing, and you can just tell when you can get the vibe from him when you're in the room with him. Like this thing. I'm not saying it's gonna be like cake, but he definitely he has his way with people.
Thanks, man.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. Being the running backs coach in Bret Bielema offense, there's a little bit of stature with that, right? Up at Wisconsin, had Monty Ball, had Melvin Gordon. What do you feel a little bit of that pressure to produce somebody like that?
Not at all. I'm a guy. I'm gonna let it come to me. I'm just gonna go work, put my head down and work. I'm gonna do the same thing I tell my guys, put my head down and work every day. And I mean, things will come out of it that's supposed to.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Corey, congrats. I was a little late to the call, so if this is already answered, I apologize. But shifting from tight ends to running backs, does that affect the way you approach your coaching duties, and how does that change your approach, if at all, to your responsibilities, besides obviously working with a different group of guys?
Yeah, besides working with a different group of guys, I think I mean, the approach kind of changed with whatever group you have, because I mean, you can't coach every group the same. You don't know how guys think, how they learn. that'll be the first thing for me to do is go in there and learn how my guys learn, the best way they learn things. So, and we'll go from there. I think a lot of things in coaching is more about feel, how the guys feel about certain things, and you get them to do what you want, what you need them to do. And it's gonna be, I think that'll be the first thing we got to get done.
And what is maybe something or one or two things you learned in your time as tight ends coach here that maybe you can really bring over to your time as running backs coach? Not necessarily a position specific thing, but just something you've learned about coaching at the college level.
Just buying in, getting guys to buy in, and like I said, with every guy's different. So I'm just excited to get in that room because I know how talented it is. Get in there, get all the guys bought in, and that's going to make some plays.
Thanks, Corey.
No doubt.
Hey, Corey, I got a question for you in terms of transitioning from tight ends to running backs. What does it include now with your relationship with the tight ends, and how do you go about coaching those guys now that you're not assigned to that position group anymore?
Yeah, that group is always going to be close to me because it was the first group I ever got when I got here. But those guys know I love them, and that's like the biggest thing in the world, like just to know somebody care about you. So I'm not going anywhere as far as that go. I just want to be the guy in the room with them. I'll still be the same guy. Like, they'll still probably end up being at my house every now and then. Those will always be my guy.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Corey.
Thanks, Corey.
All right. Thank you, everybody.